I'm not sure how many times I can say this differently, but here's another Tatuus video for rFactor 2. Thank you Studio 397 for releasing 6 very similar cars all at the same time. Okay, so today I'm going to be driving the new Tatuus MSV F3-016 car in rFactor 2. Honestly, that's not a mouthful whatsoever. Anyway, this is the car that's used in the British Formula 3 Championship, so we're better to do another 15-minute sprint race against the AI than here at Oulton Park. Now, I do know I've done a race here on this channel before, but that was way back in the day in the USF 2000, and it was also on the layout of the track without the chicanes. This does feature the chicanes, the proper, as-is, true-to-life British Formula 3 version. So yeah, I mean, that video was a long time ago. It was before the days of all these fancy SimHub overlays and live commentary as well, right at the start of this channel. Anyway, I think it should be time to give it another go.
15 minutes, you really need to get on with it. P13, heads up, get ready.
Alright guys, here we go. Waiting for the green light at Oulton Park.
Go.
Keep the revs high, get a good launch off the start. No places gained so far, heading down to the first corner. Got the inside line, gonna back out of it as everyone's going side by side ahead of us. Bit of dust getting kicked up and a few guys going wide and bouncing over the curbs to keep their positions. Just hold it, don't want to get stuck into someone's fight, but if we can get a good exit, might be able to get a few people. We get pushed towards the inside, oh no.
Go on your right side.
This is gonna get sketchy.
We're on the left, 3 wide.
This is gonna get sketchy.
Right side.
Whoa!
He's still with you.
How did we make it through that in one piece as we're now on the outside in the hairpin? We can use the banking to propel us round.
Good start.
A bit wiggly on the rear. How did we make it through there in one piece? I was sure we were going to die. It was going to be absolute death. As we don't get a great exit coming out of the first chicane. Very critical to get a good exit, heading down the back straight. As you pick your braking point for the second chicane. Now in this car, you've really got to be careful on the brakes. It's very prone to locking. Very delicate on the brakes. Keep an eye on my inputs in the top right hand corner of the screen. You can see my brake and my throttle. And my steering as well. Now there's two tendencies in this car. You have to be delicate on the brakes. It does like to lock. But also, it likes to... The rear likes to spin round when you lift off the throttle. So you think, oh, why don't you just dial the brake bias backwards to deal with the locking? Well, you can, but then it makes the rear even more prone to spinning around on the braking and lift off. So it's this delicate balance in the setup of the car. I've had a lot of practice around here, just trying to dial the car in. It's very tricky to set up. So if you guys are struggling, hit me up in the comments. More than happy to share my setup with you. But yeah, it's this constant battle between left foot and right foot as the cars ahead of us going very slow here. Have to back out of it again. Surely they're going to be ours soon.
Right. Clear on the right.
Guy behind us pokes a cheeky nose up the inside too. But yeah, very delicate. Requires a lot of finesse. Oh, there's someone off ahead of us. AI's in the fence. Now that I say that out loud, this car requires a lot of finesse. Maybe that's maybe that's why it's taken me so long to get used to it. I'm not exactly a driver of finesse. I do like a car that you can just push and push, and you can really lean on and get the time out of it that way. More like the USF 17 car that really responds to aggressive driving. Although, I'd say this British F3 car is quite a happy medium. Because the PM18 after the Tatuus pack that's been released is just doesn't agree with me. It's got the handling characteristics of this F3 car, but on steroids in so much that it's just very nervous, very unpredictable.
The leader has just done a 135.
This is a very nice happy medium, this. I do like it.
The gap to Chua in front is now 0.7. Your last lap time was at 137.13 E9. The gap to
Need to start getting some solid lap times in. We're losing touch with the cars ahead of us. Although now that we've not really got anyone around us on the track, we should be able to push a little bit more. Speaking of the track, Oulton Park, great circuit. Got to let you guys in on a little secret. Well, it's not really a secret, I suppose. You could just research me, just Google me and find out. But I grew up in a little town in the northwest of England called Widnes, which,
Cold tyres all round.
when you check on a map, is actually only about 40 minutes drive from this place. You want to have a guess how many times I came here to watch races when I was growing up? Yeah, that's right. I'm a bad motorsports fan. Zero races. It's not that I wasn't interested. I mean, I was passively following, you know, your Formula 3, your superbikes, your British touring cars. Passively following those. But I never really found the interest to go and watch a race live, which is probably now one of my biggest regrets now that I'm living in Australia, because the motorsport scene isn't as busy. And after driving cars like this in a sim, you just get a much better appreciation
Fastest lap
of the racing.
135.13.
I mean, you never know when you could see the next big driver pop through, of course.
Car in front's lap time is at 135.
You could be there right at the start of someone's career and remember that name for many years to come. Like Jenson Button, for example.
0.24. The gap to Jameson behind is now 0.9. Come on.
Formula 1 world champion.
Apexes and exits. Apexes and exits.
Formula 1 world champion, 2009. He was in the 1999 Formula 3 British Championship. Didn't win it, came third. But it did give him the visibility to get a Williams Formula 1 drive the following year. So depending on how well we do in this race, actually, nah, maybe not. You can keep that Williams drive, George, Robert. I think he's safe, guys. And speaking of going to watch local motorsport and Jenson Button, nice little segue there, guys. I actually had the opportunity to see Jenson when he was driving from McLaren throw his car around the streets of Manchester city centre. He was living there back in the day. Such an incredible experience seeing him going up and down, I think it was Piccadilly Street. Or was it Oxford? No, it wasn't Oxford Street. I think it was Piccadilly Street. Anyway, it escapes me now, but just being in and amongst the city with the scream of that engine was just fantastic. Actually, after the morning, went to get some lunch. Went to a local Subway. It was about halfway through my steak and cheese melt. Footlong steak and cheese melt, of course. And I could hear this sound in the background. Didn't realise the demonstration had actually started up again. So I'm running through the city centre, half-eaten Subway in hand, to get another glimpse of the McLaren. End up back at the City Hall. He's doing donuts just as I get there. Perfect timing. What an incredible experience. What a great day that was. But you should really, if you ever get the chance to go to a street demonstration or local motorsport, you should really get the chance. You should really take it. I mean, it's not to say that I've never been to an event full stop, you know. Did go to the British Grand Prix a few times.
Halfway home, we've got plenty of fuel.
And I was there for Lewis Hamilton's first win at home in 2008. That was a great race. And I can personally vouch for the rain that day. It was horrible. So miserable and grey and cold. All I had was a £1 plastic poncho for cover. I was very relieved to get back into the warm that day.
Your front brakes are pretty hot now.
I did also get the opportunity to go to the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix. Had a nice little road trip with my best mate Chris. If you're watching, Chris, hey mate, I'll never forget driving to Belgium in a Fiat 500.
Gap to Tatuus in front is now 0.
And then forgetting to buy a tent.
135.33.
And sleeping in said Fiat 500 for the rest of the weekend next to a group of Germans playing Eurodance until 3 in the morning, setting fireworks off.
The track temp is now 22 Celsius.
Yeah, that Fiat 500. Whew. Made do as our accommodation for the weekend. Probably wasn't the best of idea to stock up on cheeses and processed meats as our primary source of food for the weekend as well. Gotta be honest with you guys, by the end of Sunday on the drive back, that car was ripe. I'm sure that's a nice visual you wanted. Hell of an experience though. But now that I'm living in Australia, Brisbane to be specific, I don't get the chance to go and watch this kind of racing. These Formula 3 cars. I don't get to watch that much anymore, which is kind of sad. Big missed opportunity from my childhood here at Oulton Park. Although a couple of years ago I did go down to Surfers Paradise at the Gold Coast as we get a good run on this car. We're going to duck to the inside. Is he going to block us?
Clear left.
Oh, and he's just better on the brakes. Good on you, Mr. AI.
Fastest lap for Dewey, 134.41.
Nice battles here. Yeah, I did get the chance to go and see the Virgin Australia Supercar race,
Front is now
also known as the V8s to most motorsport fans.
135.15 V8. The gap to Chua
And the
behind is now
Surfers Paradise
0.20.
circuit was
That's new fastest
awesome.
lap for Chin, 134.12.
Got back to the hotel on the Saturday night.
5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes left. Okay, Dan, don't think about the lap times. Just hit each
Massive
and every
blisters on my heels, covered in sunburn, also covered in specks of rubber that have been flicked up from the track throughout the day. And the biggest smile I've had for a long time. Incredible experience. But they had the Formula 4s at that race as well, and they were nippy little things. Fun fact about that as well, they didn't actually have dedicated garages that weekend. Unlike the supercars, they didn't have a spot in pit lane. So they're all being held around the corner in the underground car park at the Marriott. Sweet dive bomb around the inside. Oh, we've locked wheels. That was very cheeky. Very cheeky as we hold it on the inside again. He's got us around the outside.
You've had quite a lot of aero damage. You might need to come in and get it fixed.
Oh no, that wasn't how that was meant to go. Yeah, going back to my point about the F4s, very surreal sight walking to the track on the Saturday, seeing a full grid of Formula 4 cars rolling out of the underground car park of the Marriott at the Gold Coast. Whoa, big wiggle ahead.
On your right side's clear.
Big wiggle on the car ahead, so we had to back out of it big time. That means we've well and truly lost touch of the cars ahead now.
Ahead is now 0.50. That last lap was at 137.44. Sector 2 is 2.1 off the pace. The gap to Chua behind is now 0.5.
Anyway, I think I've reminisced enough, shared enough of my personal motorsport stories, rambled on enough for this video. I'm going to get my head down and concentrate for a lap or two now. Really need to try and get past this guy. Been battling him for far too long. We lost touch.
Left side tyres are cold.
Lost touch with the cars ahead as well. Need to get past this guy. What's my position?
Didn't understand that.
What's my position?
P8.
So this is for P7. I think we can get him, guys. He's putting up a hell of a fight so far. As we go back to the scene of our collision the last lap. No debris on the track, so it can't be too bad. We'll live to fight another day. The aero's not too bad. The suspension's still pointing the same way. We're survivors. But yeah, head down. Concentrate. Enjoy the sounds of the car, guys.
The leader's just done it. 134.21. Right side. Clear on the right. Right side. Clear right. The gap in front is now 0.7. That lap time was 135.32. The gap to Chua behind is now 0.41. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Try the wide line, get the cut back, get the drive out. Doesn't work this time. Remember that for next lap. We need to get him before the entry. Incredible battle with this guy. I know we've got him on pace. Just need to find a way past. Let's dummy him to the inside. Put him offline, see if we can compromise his entry.
Fuel left.
AIs are traditionally very strong through this corner compared to myself. But we're with him. Well and truly in the slipstream now. Come on. P7 should be mine. We can get him. I know we can get him. Then we got one more lap after this. As he hesitates on the apex. We got the run. Got to be brave.
And still there.
He's going to pin us.
He's still there.
He pins us again.
You're clear on the left. Your tyres are cold. Watch out. Well done, Dan.
Got him.
Eyes front. One more lap to go. That was a 134.82. Good lap. That's your best in the session. 7th position.
Just got to hold on to it now. Just got to hold on to it. No silly mistakes. Can't go too slow either. And for the first time in this race, we have a clear track ahead of us. Shame it's the last lap. I could just keep driving and driving. It's just something about this car. Once it clicks, once you get in the groove, it's just really getting the flow to it. It takes a while to get into that groove, to figure out how the car behaves, but once you get there, it's almost hypnotic. So much fun. But in a completely different way than the US F17 is. I mean, I like the US F17. That's definitely my clear favourite of the Tatuus cars so far. But this, I could get used to this. This MSV F3-016 car. Ooh! So close to losing the rear of the car then. Getting on the curbs. I'm presuming this is the final corner. We come across the line. There's a checkered flag out. Yes, it is!
P7. That's the finish. Well done.
P7? I thought we passed P6. Are you telling me that was a lap car? We were fighting the whole race with a lapped car. What's my position?
P7.
It must have been. Oh, guys. That was a hell of a battle, but it didn't really count for anything. That is why I need to get my overlays up on the VR headset. I had no idea. Otherwise I wouldn't have fought him so hard. I wouldn't have gone wheel to wheel with him. Anyway, I'm going to drive it back to the pits. And I'll catch you guys in a moment. Cue some fancy editing now. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little bit different now. Normally I do a wrap-up either inside the Oculus headset or take the Oculus headset off and have a chat while I'm in the game, but I'm playing around with a piece of software called, what's it called? Results Viewer. rFactor 2 Results Viewer. You can get this on the forums. It actually analyzes the log files from within the game, and yeah, nice statistical analysis for nerds like myself. So, I'm going to do the wrap-up on the race and take you through the results on the screen. And I'm going to correct myself immediately because I did actually, checking the graphs of the race, see here, I did actually make up that position. That wasn't a lap car. I must have been in 8th. Yep, I was in 8th, and I got confused. I thought I was already in 7th. I convinced myself I was in 7th. So that wasn't a battle with a lapped car. That was a battle for position. So that makes me feel a little bit better about the race now. But yeah, made up 6 spots in that race. Started 13th and finished in 7th. Our fastest lap was a 1:33.9, which is about 0.2 off the pace. Fastest lap was a 1:33.752 by Desi Watt. That's not a bad effort actually. I thought I'd be a lot further off than that. Qualifying and practice said otherwise. I feel like I really, well, let's have a look actually. Let's see how I gripped in over the course of the race. Where is it now? Race sectors and laps. Here we go. So over the course of the race, So 37.1, 35.1, so yeah, gradually getting faster. I actually set my fastest lap on the final lap of the race. And theoretically I could have done a 133.8, so I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, you can see my times there. I feel like I just keep driving and driving and driving and driving, keep on getting faster and faster. So let's have a look at the graphs again. Let's head back up to the top. Made up a spot here. Made up a few spots here. Looks like a few people had incidents as well, dropping to the bottom. And yeah, I think that's it really. It's a nice little tool. How consistent was I? Well, alright. But compared to myself, 19th out of 24 in consistency, quite a lot of deviation, but I'll put that down to the fact I was battling. I wasn't really on the optimum line most of the race, but to be honest, in Formula 3s like this, you rarely are. Lots of close racing. That was a very fun race, and I hope you enjoyed some of my stories as well, some of my reminiscing about my childhood and motorsports from my younger days. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the race. If you did, don't forget to give me a like, thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments, hit me up in the comments if you want the setup for this car as well, if you are struggling to get this to drive well. It's my best attempt so far, hopefully it works for you too. But yeah, if you want to see more like this, please subscribe, because I'm going to be doing more races in this car for sure, more races in the US F17 for sure, and I'm also going to be doing some interesting stuff over in Race Room Racing Experience. Got a few good ideas for videos, hot lap challenges, the Nordschleifer lap that me and my dad battled against has really taken off, and I know a lot of you guys have set times on that as well, and really getting involved in the leaderboards. So I'm going to be doing more of that in the future, so I'm going to be getting you guys involved, doing some nice little challenges in Race Room. Anyway, I am rambling, so I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.